realise that I'm talking about beauty standards, and I can't exactly do that unless I'm being the real me.
Look. No!
These eyelashes don't define me.
Are you kidding?
And neither does this hair.
Ugly bitch!
What is your definition? What is your definition of beauty?
2 hours later.
Hi, my name is C. China.
Because I'm way too bougie.
Oh.
I started rapping when I was about 14 years old.
Oh, really?
These guys was in a studio session and they went out really quickly. I actually jumped in their studio session and decided to just record something for the fun of it. And the producer told me that I should try and pursue music. Ever since then, I've just been writing lyrics, and I went on to release Legal Baby and Last Laugh.
I don't know who she is.
I don't know how I'm
Who is she again?
What's going on YouTube? It's your boy You Just Got Juice, back at it again with another video. Hopefully y'all day is going okay. Somebody sent me this video on my Discord. They told me to check it out, and they told me to go to an Instagram page. Obviously I can't show you the page because I will get a copyright strike, but I guess she's a rapper. Not really sure who this person is, never heard of her. So we're going to do some deep diving today and see what we can discover about C. China. Alright, let's get ready and here we go.
There's a new female rapper coming out of the UK that, while resembling Megan Thee Stallion, the image that she portrays is actually way worse. Her name is China, and I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but she has 171,000 followers. She has a song out now called Peggy, and we're gonna get into some of the lyrics of that song, but just a brief look on her social media, you can see exactly the type of rapper that she is. These are the type of young lady that had no talent to begin with. I mean, besides being blessed with aesthetics, but they utilize their sexuality in order to sell products, selling themselves to the entertainment devil for a buck, ashamed by nothing, offended by everything, and at the same
So she's like another Young Miami or something? Like, let's see.
same time makes it a business out of disrespecting men. Now, remember that song that I told you about called Peggy? Well, currently, just up on YouTube, it has tens of millions of reviews. Let's go through some of the lyrics so you can understand what I'm saying. Now, the first line in the chorus is, "I'm pegging that man in the back of the bus, feeling like 3-6 Mafia. I'm gonna fill his nose up with dust. These ninjas always talking. Tell them ninjas.
What the hell is pegging, bro?
I don't give a fuck. I got an Asian youth from the West trying to pick me up in a Lambo truck. I told that man I love short men because I wanted to use them. I'm putting these ninjas in debt. If I get his wallet, I'm gonna abuse it. Just got a triangle strip last week. Now I'm out here looking like Phineas. I left that ninja on red. He ain't gonna fuck with me, and that's on period. I'm in the back of the car with your daddy, and he's twerking and popping a perk. I mean, it's completely absurd. Nevertheless.
The fuck? The hell are we listening to right now, bro? Guess what people rapping about now? Sound like some trash ass Cardi B or something.
I found this lovely white-eyebrowed young lady who is defending the image and protecting the lyrics of the rapper in question. So I wanted to give it a fair shake in the spirit of fair use to have a discussion up here. Now, her video has over 100,000 views, and the comment section is filled with nothing but praise. So y'all already know it's time to get active. So without further ado.
Hold up. Praise for what? The song?
I love when I find a new rap girly to get obsessed over. I love it.
if you've been on TikTok, or at least my side of TikTok, you might have come across a British drill rapper named C. China. If you haven't, let me put you on game.
So she's a TikTok rapper, not a real rapper. Okay, cool. Starting to make sense. TikTok rap. All right. Anything just for the club. Cool.
Because C. China is fun. We're gonna analyze some things, but for now, she's fun, okay? Because I'm way too bougie. Ooh, there's something about somebody rapping aggressively in a feminine British accent. I don't know. It just does something for me.
And exactly what it does for her, right? This power through being aggressive or putting down to men is the exact playbook that feminism, modern day feminism, not the first wave and second wave feminism, which I agree with, but the marketing that modern day feminism has put within the mindset of these young women today. They watch artists, they watch influencers act this way, but then indoctrinate it within their own way that they behave with men.
Truly. But she's been getting a lot of notoriety on TikTok, not only because people have been making videos just lip syncing to her songs, but because they're also making their parents and boyfriends, male friends, listen to her and get their reactions because, and I don't know how much of this I'm going to be able to play, but it goes a little something like this.
He want a break. I've been face 6 hours. He told me to his mouth, so I gave him a.
She is giving femdom. She's giving dommy mommy. She's giving men who like a humiliation kink. Men who want to be used and abused by a feminine, hot woman. Like, not just men. Anyone, really. Anyone, really. Am I right?
No.
Sorry.
Who the fuck want to be dominated by a woman, bro? Like, seriously, unless you got a fetish. You don't got a kink. Who in their right mind want to be dominated by a woman, bro?
I'll be serious. But listen, she's a baddie. She's light-skinned. She got a British accent. She got the wig. She got the China's milkies. She got all the things going for her. She's scamming men. She doesn't give a She raps in a very masculine.
You said she's scamming? The guy praising a scammer right now, and here we go again, giving people the wrong praise for not doing shit but the bare minimum.
Get on your knees and grease my feet type of way. I'm in the back of the bus with your daddy and he's twerking and popping a perk. She said that about your daddy. She don't give a I love it. But we do pop culture analysis here, so obviously
you don't give a fuck either. Kind of thing of eyebrows. You must don't care about life your damn self. What the fuck?
If I'm going to talk about someone like C. China, I gotta analyze a bit using half my sociology degree. Is this okay? I mean, it's okay, but like, is it? So we're going to talk a bit about her because there isn't as much about her online, which kind of surprises me given her age. But anyway, talk a bit about her, talk a bit about how she's being received, about the marketing that she has, her branding, the vibes, because it's all about marketing and branding, even if people look authentic. Y'all, I'm just saying. Yeah, get into the feminism or misandry conversation because you always got to, and I just really want us to re-break down what the words feminism and misandry mean because what's happening?
Sociology degree, more than likely from a liberal institution, so we know exactly where this conversation is about to go. But just notice, I guess, along with her image, the cues or the happiness that she shows when there's a image of a woman that disrespects men. The comparison to this is that if I was to do a social commentary about, you know, a new rapper within gang murderous culture, and I'm like laughing and kikiing about the positiveness. Is this bad for society? The opposite of this is that if there was a rapper, let's say a pimp rapper that got up on there and was talking about disrespecting women and like S trafficking and all these different things, and I'm kind of like laughing, joking, acting like what he's doing is empowering to me as a man.
It's funny because like when Cardi B told that story how she was struggling people and stuff like that, ain't nobody get mad at her either. It's like females praise this shit because they fucking do it them fucking selves. Not all of them, but just something that they fucking do, and then they expect you to be fucking high and mighty and take care of their fucking bills and shit. Like, y'all better get the fuck out of my face, bro.
man. But let's give it a fair shake.
So who is she? Well, as I said at the beginning, she's a UK drill rapper, but I don't think I mentioned her age. She's 21. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it because she does have a song called Legal Baby, one of her.
So yeah, she's 21. And she doing that shit already? That means she probably was already on, like, out for these streets at a young age. And that's how she got familiar with that shit. Because you gotta, that's a whole other world when you start packing people, bro. So for her to be that confident at 21, she's probably an ex-worker.
Her 3 singles. Yes, she only has 3 singles out, and she's already getting this much hype, so hey. But she has 3 singles: Legal Baby, Last Laugh, and of course, Peggy, which is the one that a lot of people are reacting to online right now, and it's her most recent single. Apparently, she might be a femdom, she might be a lesbian. All of those things seem like it could be accurate to me, mostly the lesbian part, because, listen, if you know, you know. Most because I know, girl, they ain't straight. Whether or not she is a femdom, her songs give off that energy. She's degrading men, she's talking down to them, she's talking to men like men in hip-hop talk to women, and even more aggressively. Because some of y'all are like, men don't talk like this. Rick Ross.
These are the infamous lyrics that Rick Ross put in that You Ain't Know It song way back in the day. I think it was a song that's like 12, 13 years old or something like that. And albeit, this is definitely not a good look, but I would also argue that this right here is not Rick Ross's image. This is a lyric amongst a plethora of songs, whereas the other young lady that's her image. Her image is branding herself that way. And I also argue that the top male rappers are not being degrading towards, if you want to say the top male is Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole. Let's say that those are the top 3 mainstream rap artists. That's not their lyrics, whereas the top...
Unless you're talking about back in the 90s, and if you're talking about back in the 90s, how you going to compare that to now? Because when the last time somebody complained about men rapping about females? Like, it's not, the music's not even the same no more. Like, yeah, so what is she talking about?
3 female rap artists, all of them have some degree of sexuality involved with their image.
China's talking about consensual behavior? I'm just saying. Think about it, okay? And this is why I think she is being received the way she is being received. Very divisive, but also very, like, entertaining, shock value. The girlies that like it are like, yeah, finally, we get to feel the same empowerment and degradation that these men have been dealing with us this whole time. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not surprised that people would say stuff like that, especially given the way the world seems to be turning in a more right-wing direction. You know, the trad wife of it all, the rejection of sex positivity, or at least the, like, superficial understanding of sex-positive feminism, and people just being sick and tired of men's bullshit and living in a patriarchal society, because it's the patriarchy that we're mad at, not men specifically. Men enact it, but women also do too. But this sort of like, you know what? If these men are gonna be like this, if they don't understand why we would rather choose a bear than a man, you know what? We're just gonna double down even more.
So confused.
To degrade these men. Who would have thought last year I'd make so much to degrade these men? Girl, we are going to degrade these men.
And there you have it. They make every excuse to hate on men and be misandrous because within their minds, they are still the victim of a society. They still view the world as not having the same rights. They still view the world of, you know, pay discrepancy. They still view the world as a patriarchy, as if it still exists. So in their eyes, it gives an excuse because while men are on top, women are on the bottom, we're finally punching up. And from a marketing perspective, punching down never makes sense. To be honest, the marketer behind the feminism movement deserves some type of medal or award or recognition to be able to trick a whole sector of people to believe that they're being victimized to push bullshit forward is genius. It's brilliant if you think about it. But that's why they speak so positively about this man versus bear shit. That's why they speak so positively about when women have the image of degrading, pegging, sexualizing men. Meanwhile, their best examples of why they can act out of order is a lyric from one rapper from 12 years ago. Let's keep going.
And now, like I said, some people have certain kinks where
it's fucking reaching for shit, bro.
They like this. It is actually, yes, mommy, please. So you know, keep that in mind as we're having this conversation. I'm more so just talking about the general girls that are probably in the car listening to this, screaming it in their boyfriend's ear, and their boyfriends are probably like,
oh my God. No, if you're a girlfriend to a man and you're screaming this in your boyfriend's ear, no, hold on, let me just talk to my G's.
Man, ain't no girl I know playing this shit around me in my fucking ear. The fuck? If you do, you get the fuck out my car and my house, man. The fuck?
Understand what she's destined for, which is nothing but the streets. You do not have an obligation to fix.
That's like people. That's like the project chicks music right there, bro. Like I mess with working women, and people don't listen to this shit. Like people I'm around listen to fucking Sexy Red and none of that garbage.
It's unruly. You do not have an obligation to check women for their modern feminism beliefs. You are in an aircraft piloted by her towards your own destruction. You need to hit that eject button before y'all both crash and burn.
what?
Yeah, it's
okay,
funny,
I'm not
right?
laughing at them. I just,
yeah.
Yes, and ladies, I'm not down in the parade. I was shaking my ass to this song, so don't play with me, okay? This is how people are reacting, is what I'm talking about. And I was bumping my ass to it because I have always loved female rap, and more recently been unpacking the kind of paradoxical relationship it has to women, because if women are rapping and doing the same dominator type attitude, patriarchal type, misogynistic type, hyper masculine type behaviors, but in a hyper feminine body, is it really that different, right? That's something I struggle with and something I'm gonna be kind of think about for a while, but for now I'm shaking my ass.
Okay.
But I've come to some new realizations, mostly because of marketing and branding. So let's talk about that.
Okay.
I realised that I can't please anybody. I realised that I'm talking about beauty standards, and I can't exactly do that unless I'm being the real me. These eyelashes don't define me, and neither does this hair. What is your definition? What is your definition of beauty?
This kind of looks like the chick who was rapping. You know what the funny thing is about this? They get up and they do these speeches like this in order to show like distance from like what
they still
men
wear the
want them
fucking
to
fake
look
hair
like.
and shit,
But men don't want your hair hats. They don't want your wigs. They don't want your butterfly eyelashes. No, your beauty standards were not set by men. Why would a man want you to wear a suit and tie up on a stage just like he would? They are so convinced that they are victims in a patriarchal regime without the inability to understand that this is all free will and free choice. I wish that you could take any of these feminists and just drop them up into a real patriarchal regime and see how they would fare. I bet you they would stop at nothing to come back to a place as open and free as America is. Men do not want your masculinity, nor do they want your lemming ass to be convinced into doing ridiculous shit with your image that they never wanted in the first place.
So that was a clip from a speech that C. China did in high school talking about defying beauty standards. Like I said before, she doesn't have a huge presence on the internet besides the music that she's been releasing over the last 3 years. But this
and she shouldn't have a huge presence, not with that shit. The fuck she's trying to be like, that's what Sexy Red opened the door for these people like this to make this sick ass fucking music.
The video is interesting to me because it kind of confirms my suspicions about what exactly is going on here with the C. China brand label marketing, whatever. In that it is marketing. In that she is telling a story, she is playing a sort of character that might be part of her, but is not fully her. There's a TikTok I saw of her saying, or this is secondhand information, so grain of salt, of somebody being like, see, China asked if we wanted to see her antique or like her vintage doll collection. And it's just like, cutie. Like, this isn't to say that you can't be an S worker or a Thottiana and have quirky, weird interests. Most of the Thottianas, worker baddies I know are just girlies. I'm kidding.
Why do you know a lot of Thottianas and ex-workers? So it shows the type of circle you're around and why you listen to this type of music. You just exposing yourself, lady. How do you?
I'm kidding. I'm not diagnosing people, but they're just little weird girlies that are like hanging out and vibing, like that watch anime and are huge nerds. Okay, every S worker I know and anyone I know that's dated one, y'all are nerds. You're sexy nerds. Just get over it. Anyway. This speech that she gave, she takes off her wig, she takes off her lashes. She's saying, I know these things enhance my beauty, but this is not me.
I'm all about like female empowerment, and it was really important that I deliver that speech. I actually had no idea that 4 years later it would be going so viral again. I watch that speech every day.
I really thought that the commentator was going to say something maybe a little
She got a little pouch on the stomach. Don't like those Instagram pictures.
bit more enlightening outside of that it's just a marketing technique. Duh. Perhaps something a little bit more profound that as a young girl, she would speak out towards the normalization of certain beauty standards. Whereas after 18, she literally became the normalization. She is literally the copy pasta and to another level of early Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion. Shit, even go back in the day to Lil' Kim, Foxy Brown. But she makes money off it here. Got it.
Viral again. I watch that speech every day.
This is not something that I have to say is me. And people might watch that and go, then why is she out here making a song called Legal Baby and Last Laugh and Peggy and acting like this? One, if she's a lesbian, I can't explain to you how this makes sense. It just does. At least a femdom lesbian, because femdom queers, what's up? Two, the songs are so, I don't know, to me, they're so caricature-y almost that it feels like, yeah, there's no way she doesn't know what she's doing. She flips back and forth between saying she doesn't fuck for the bag, but that she would if a guy is wealthy, that she doesn't sleep with these men, but that she does, only the wealthy ones, that she scams them out of their money. Like, she's doing all of the hits that we know you do if you are a baddie. Tell me what you know about Profit. I made so much last week to act like a thought. Tell me what you know about Profit. Do y'all see what I'm trying to say?
Is that a bar?
You see, you don't care about these men. You're scamming them out of their money. You and your girlfriend are actually on a trip, who's equally femme and equally as bad. Y'all are on a trip somewhere using the...
I don't recall. Well, I'm not going to speak on that. I don't see a lot of men scamming women out of their money. The woman might be dumb, or she might be hypnotized by the sex and she give them the money, but it's not scamming. It's totally two different things right here, bro.
The money that you got from these men, whether you actually hooked up with them or just, you know, were cute around them and they really liked you and wanted to just send you money. Listen, if y'all don't follow femdoms or know any, it's a fascinating, like, girl, I was looking at this one girl posted on Instagram, this mistress and her subs posting all these screenshots of these subs sending her money, being like a financial femdom. Girl, sign me up.
Sorry, this social commentary is ass. That's why I feel like I have to stop it every couple of seconds. What I also notice is that she continues to talk about this from the perspective of femdoms.
I thought I was the only one. I'm getting a headache listening to her dumb ass, bro. Not even trying to be disrespectful, but her logic don't make any sense. But it's her opinion.
As if a guy who's a submissive is like a wide population of guys that this woman is trying to market to. No. If we're talking about marketing, she's trying to market to women. Women are her intended audience from a lyrical perspective, but from a image perspective, from an aesthetics perspective, it's men. With actually women too, because women like bodies just as much as what men do. They just don't like to admit it. But that's, of course, the big thing that's missing out of social commentaries like this is that when you push a public image out there and you call her an influencer, how does that then influence the 16-year-old versions of her? Do we not think that it's damaging? Do we not think that it's disrespectful? Or is...
And again, the only reason why it's a problem, because it's saying like Sexy Red, you're going to have these kids singing this shit and thinking it's okay to do it. Because kids don't know no better. When I was young, I listened to 3 6 Mafia. And then, so I wanted to grow up. I wanted to mess with the white powder. But yeah, the youth is easily influenced. That's why it's like I said, even though we had Lil' Kim and stuff back in the day, we didn't have the internet. So we wasn't able to be exposed to that all the time. Like, we barely seen it on TV. Like, we might have seen the pictures in the World Up magazine and stuff like that. But you had to go to school and see somebody's magazine. Then you only seen it for about 5 minutes. You know, it's not like you've seen it over and over on your phone constantly every day and stuff like that. So, you know, big difference now, big difference. And times is, you know, definitely changing.
Is this women's empowerment? How are you empowered of thought?
What do you mean? I say all this to say that it's a lot of marketing and branding, because if this year has, I'm recording this in 2024, but maybe 2025 is also showing us this, has taught us anything, it's that if you are in the public eye, there's a certain level of branding that you're able to achieve, marketing and game playing that you have to have in order to get people to pay attention, in order to get people to lock in, so to speak.
Unless you're truly talented.
I don't want to call it a gimmick because there's authenticity in parts of it for some people, for sure. But I do think you do have to have some sort of gimmick, some sort of vibe, some sort of thing that will draw people in, that helps people make sense of who they assume you are to be.
No. What's who's rapping now? What's Kendrick Lamar gimmick? What's Jay-Z's gimmick? What's Megan Thee Stallion's gimmick? Like, you don't need no goddamn gimmick. You only need a gimmick if you can't rap.
To be.
Yeah, but then the question is how far do you go? Like, for example, I use titles and thumbnails in order to draw people in, but I would never sell my soul and represent myself how my father would not be proud if it's for an increase of numbers within my bank account. I, unlike that woman, would think that my image is something that can be replicated if a young man wants to get value out of his life, improvement within his life. Do you think that women should replicate her image? Huh?
For her, it's the baddie. It's the femdom baddie. She has a song called Legal Baby that she made when she was 18. If you are making a speech like that at 15, you know good and goddamn well what these menses are like. And you know titling a song Legal Baby and doing that is gonna...
So that means she probably was already doing some stuff. Again, she probably was too grown for her age. Because again, how do you know about this stuff already at 21? My own daughter don't even know about none of this stuff. I mean, she's 20.
To get the attention. So you are playing the game. I want to point out this branding and marketing and this intentionality of it because, one, I think we tend to think women aren't as smart as they are, especially when they're selling sex. We tend to think that women that are selling sex are just, they're just so dumb and they just don't have anything else to offer, so they're just going to offer their body, and once their beauty's gone, it's over. And it's like, these women, most times they know what they're doing. Most times it's a character, it's a thing, and some examples I'm thinking of are Dolly Parton, where it's not necessarily that Dolly Parton was selling sex, but come on, boobs that big, hair that high, and blonde, and the little giggles, come on. Dolly knew what she was doing, and she calls it a character. And it's also why we never saw her man or even knew that she was with a man, husband, whatever, for how long? Girl, Marilyn Monroe said the exact same thing. These are two white women. I'm looking at women in hip hop.
You comparing white women that had clothes on and that didn't do fucking sex tapes and shit? That was a natural beauty. People just wanted to be around that. They didn't have to dress in no certain type of way to be attracted. It was just a natural essence.
Megan Thee Stallion is a giant nerd.
It's a discrimination to nerds everywhere, okay? It's race.
She's a nerd, okay? She happens to be a baddie and she happens to be hot. Yes, but beyond that and the marketing of her and all of that, girl, please.
First off, free Tory. Nobody's arguing that these women may not have a degree of intelligence about them. What I'm arguing is that they prioritize their own self-degradation as well as the continued degradation within a community of people who look just like them.
Like her argument don't make sense. Like, you know how many nerd hoes I dated? Like, but they still was hoes. And they was nerds. Like, that don't make sense. So, like, not nerds like book smart, meaning like they like anime or video games, but they still was
overrepresenting themselves how members of that same community should. Utilizing alleged industry pass-arounds like Megan Thee Stallion in order to fulfill a point is wild work. Anyway, I think that I've had enough of hearing her words and her perspective.
Yeah, same here, brother. Same here. Like I said, I never heard of her. I'm not gonna look her up. I don't even care to. But somebody shared this story with me, and I'm sharing it with y'all. These are based upon my opinions, so based upon my views that I've seen in my life and what I'm around in my surroundings. Don't take nothing I say to heart, cause I damn sure ain't. And that's it for me. You guys got the juice now, and I'll catch you next time. And we are out.